So ByuN and Bunny looking quite dominant here in the TvTs, but here we go. We're getting into our next best of 3, into our first semifinals, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of side Delta, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Bunny. Second best in Texas, behind MaxFax. Ay, ay, ay. Shaking my head, shaking my head. I mean, you say behind MaxFax, but MaxFax, he didn't make it to the semis, and Jeshi did. MaxFax, he got knocked out, what, in the quarterfinals, right? Yeah, he got knocked out in the quarterfinals. You know, is Jeshi also the best in Texas? That's you know, the numbers, they don't lie. But yes, after this semis, we're going to be casting Solar versus Jeshi, and even though Jeshi has been looking so good tonight, even though he's been on fire, he's been taking down some big names, Solar, he took down all the European Protosses. He took down Mana, Showtime, and MaxFax. Solar, his ZVP is on point tonight, and Jeshi happens to be another Protoss, so I'm concerned for him. To be fair, Jeshi, he's less influenced by the European Protoss style and more so by the Korean Protosses, so he will play differently, and maybe he'll have more success. It's possible. He may have more success against Solar than MaxFax and Showtime and Mana. We'll get there, we'll get there. For now, we're getting into our TvT. ByuN going for an economic opener, going for a Rax Expand, single gas opener. Bunny going for a double gas opener instead, faster factory. So Bunny's going to be more aggressive, ByuN is being more economic. So we have kind of established our roles in this TvT in the early game as Bunny moves out. Oh, but ByuN is waiting for him, he shoots first! ByuN was in position, he shoots first, he forces Bunny back. Bunny thankfully does retreat. He will not lose his Reaper. He does take some extra losses, or extra damage, sorry. He will retreat. Really bold move from both players to move out. But Bunny was punished. As he's getting his CC on location. ByuN back at home, just chilling. Chilean. First best in Texas? Ay, ay, ay. What's the narrative here? So Serral, Jeshi, and MaxFax, they're from Texas. Are we saying that, like, is Estrella from, is he like from Germany? Is that is Scarlet from Finland? Are we just switching, are we switching the players over? Is that what's happening? Is Neeb actually Captain Europe? is he not Captain America? Oh, we've been living a lie, Papi. What universe is this? Captain Europe. Ay, ay, ay. As we're getting into our next matchup. So far, again, ByuN, God, I did it again. This isn't the first time. I think it was a couple of days ago. I casted Bunny versus ByuN, and I kept saying ByuN like over and over. I can't handle it. ByuN taking a defensive position, of course, because of his opener. He's chilling back at home. Likewise, Bunny getting into a faster 1-1-1, working towards Ravens. I mentioned this before in the TVP that we casted when we were casting Spirit. I did bring up that ByuN has not really adopted the new Raven, and he avoids the new Raven in TVP, the same in TvT. ByuN, he has been avoiding the new Raven. He's not too fond of the Interference Matrix anymore, and he's been going for a more drop-heavy style instead. As Reaper dips in, gets a full scout. ByuN working towards the main base, sending a couple of Cyclones even towards that natural. And can he break the defenses of Bunny? So here we go, the drop comes in, there is a Cyclone in position. Oh! We do boost past. We get into the main base, we focus down one SCV. ByuN is pulling the trigger, but there is a Widowmine. Up! Oh, it does connect, takes down the Reaper, takes down some of the HP of that Hellion as well. But we are going to be able to focus it down. Another SCV falls, the drop escapes. And ByuN, he shaves off... Oh, God. He shaves off a Marine, but he loses a Cyclone. Not too sure if that was worth it. Looking at the battle report here, ByuN, he lost only one Reaper and one Cyclone. He was able to get a couple of SCVs, get a Widowmine. Maybe a better trade here for ByuN. Just losing the Cyclone was brutal. Was a blow to his gas. As Bunny, he may have had a later expansion, later natural, but he's going straight into that third CC and has a much faster third compared to ByuN. As the Liberator dips in towards the main base, likewise ByuN trying to pull Bunny apart here. Getting another couple of SCVs. 2, 3, 4 SCVs going down. 5 SCVs even. ByuN taking a solid lead. Very nicely done. Now the downside here is that Bunny's main army is stronger. Bunny, he's been building up his tank count of Vikings, Ravens. A traditional TvT army setup here. Tank Viking, Tank Raven. And ByuN has been making Cyclones, Liberators. His army is lacking as a result, even bleeding out another Cyclone in the retreat. ByuN going to try to make a stand here in the center of the map. Does siege, does slow down the army of the Red Terran. But we have disables. We do on siege just in time. Up. Oh my god, the tank barely survives. Despite these Marines, they were body blocking hard. They were not. But the tank does survive, and Bunny has to back off. Very clutch move there from ByuN, unsieging just before the Matrix connected. And ByuN is now establishing his third base, so is Bunny. But ByuN still maintains his worker lead. And now he is getting into tanks. We're done with the Cyclones. Tank production, Marines. So once again, ByuN, he isn't making Vikings. He's going into a more drop-heavy style. He's going for mass Marine drops instead. He's going to try to pull apart the attention of Bunny. This is just how ByuN enjoys playing TvT, as more medevacs are on the way. So in a head-to-head fight, Bunny is favored, but ByuN isn't looking to fight head-to-head. He's looking to try to pull apart his opponent. The Viking's not quite in position, as the drop does come in. Yeah, Stim is done, and we dive straight into the mineral line. 1-1 about to finish up as well for ByuN. I almost said ByuN. I had to stop myself. As we stim on forward. Gonna be a bit of a rough trade here, but 11 SCVs go down. A good trade for ByuN. Trading Marines for workers. As he's pushing on forward. And ByuN almost up 20 workers. He does take a tank shot to the face. I love it. Tanking with his Marines. And he will establish this location. Takes down 2 of the tanks of Bunny. God damn it. As ByuN is reinforcing. Rotating towards a third base. He does have to respect the Vikings. Bunny does have air control. But again, ByuN does outposition. He takes down the sensor tower within range of that depot. Good disable. And ByuN, he ignores it. He goes straight for the mineral line even. Straight for the main. Straight for the main base again, just pulling a Bunny apart. And this is just becoming far too much. The Marines, they waddle in. Bunny, he regains control of his main base, but the third has to be lifted. Bunny down a base, stuck on 2 CCs. ByuN getting a 4th behind this. ByuN is getting out of control. As he stims on forward, he's going to get the final tank. The SCVs, the CC taking a lot of hits. The orbital does survive. Oh my god. The tank volleys are real, and yeah, Bunny, he can't push out. GG gets called. We don't even get a final fight. As Bunny was pulled apart, and ByuN takes game number 1. GG. And as we get ready for game 2, a big shout out to Phoenix. Der Dutch Scott himself. Thank you so much, Phoenix, for subscribing. 48 months. It's been so long, been so many years. Phoenix, for those wondering, he was one of our first subscribers, on the channel. 48 months. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. 4 years. 4 years. Thank you. Always much love. Much love to Phoenix. He's also a member of the CranKy Ducklings. Fun fact, Phoenix, he was one of the first... I say one of the first. One of the few members of the CranKy Ducklings that was added later on. He wasn't originally... Oh. Wasn't originally a part of that. Yeah, we're good, we're good. Oh. As yeah, we're just making sure everything's good to go. As we're diving into game number 2. Just inviting all the casters in, making sure no one's left out. But yeah, Phoenix, he's one of the few members of the CranKy Ducklings that joined afterwards. Wasn't originally a member of like the Crank group, Crank group. And yeah, much love, much love. And GG, well played. ByuN just getting out of control in that TvT, pulling Bunny apart left and right with his drop play, and just out positioning him in the end. Really impressive stuff. Here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Hardled, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. He's like, what was I? What am I, Poppy? What am I? In the top left, we have his opponent. We have the Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Mystery Gaming. It is Bunny. Honey. Is that exactly my reaction looking at the stream for the first time just now? Not like this. And a big shout out to, oh my god, big shout out to Namleist. Thank you so much for gifting some subs to the community. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. All the money that we make here on the channel goes towards our tournaments. It does help us fund our events like Grand Platypus Open, Sparkling Tunic Cup, the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. Thank you so much for all the support. And I hope, yeah, Smokey Boyo enjoys the sub. Do gift the sub. Thank you. He's so smoky. He's a chicken. Beautiful. As this time we have very different openers. We have a double gas opener from ByuN, likewise from Bunny as well. ByuNy, the two of them are going double gas. Very interesting. I mean, it makes sense. Hardled, for those that are curious, has a very short rush distance by ground. Very short rush distance. Proxies are very common as well. So we have some very safe openers here in case there happen to be something like a proxy. And just have more early game control overall. Reaper is going to be moving out. Likewise, Reaper also moving out for Bunny as well. Oh, there's so many guys in the chat. There it is. CC on location for both players. Again, both players are mirroring each other. Same builds. Exact same build. Well, for the most part, same builds. As we do get a faster reactor here on this Rax. Bunny is continuing Reaper production, not going for the reactor yet. As we're getting into an add-on swap, and are we going to go for early game Cyclones? We are. ByuN. Okay. Going to be getting into Cyclones early on. This should just be for map control. This shouldn't be for like mass Cyclone, like second factory mech. There we go, as we do have a starport on the way. Aggressive nonetheless. Back at home, Bunny just building up his own 1-1-1. I imagine working towards an add-on swap into Raven production at some point. Again, Tank Raven or Bio Tank is typically the composition of choice for Bunny. ByuN, he likes to experiment a little bit more. We mentioned earlier, something that I should put some emphasis on is that what is difficult about ByuN's playstyle in TvT is that because he's so drop heavy, we mentioned before that in a head-to-head fight, Bunny would win. You know, he can take control of the tanks with the Ravens. He has air control as well to zone away ByuN, to ideally shut down drops. and to have a higher tank count and a stronger army overall. It's very difficult to pull off what ByuN does, as he's going into Banshees. Let's go. It's very difficult to do what ByuN does, which is just outposition your opponents, pull them apart left and right, and create these openings. Create these openings where you can take advantage of them and to get into that mineral line or to pick off tanks here or there. It's a very active style. Speaking of, we do have a tank drop. Tank drop is coming out. The Cyclones miss. Oh, they barely do catch the drop. Aliens are going down, and Bunny turns back around. Behind this, we have Interference Matrix in production. Take it into Ravens. And yeah, Bunny has to race back home, evacuate the mineral line. And just like that, ByuN is on 2 bases against the 1 base of Bunny. Bunny, he was building up towards that tank drop, and he couldn't pull it off. Had to race back home. There it is, Ravens coming out. 3rd CC gets thrown down immediately for Bunny. The reasoning behind this, Bunny knows he's behind. He knows he's behind economically. He knows that he wasn't mining at all from his natural, of course. So his way to come back is a very fast 3rd. So very greedy play here from Bunny to catch up. Meanwhile, ByuN, what are we going for? Ravens, tanks. I mentioned before that ByuN usually avoids Ravens as the Banshee comes in. He's been avoiding the Raven here in TvT, but this game he's embracing it. As 2 SCVs go down, Bunny, he already has a crippled economy. He's already behind economically, and even more so by losing some more SCVs. But he does catch the Banshee. Big pickoff. Banshee goes down, and a drop comes in. As Bunny is forcing some inefficient mining here from his opponent. 3rd CC is now on the way. ByuN's 3rd is a little bit later, but I mean, Bunny's has to be faster to be able to get back into this and recover. And ByuN, he's not making medevacs. He's going for a tank Viking heavy composition instead. ByuN, he's kind of playing standard. Let's go. He is going to be calming things down, and yeah, he's going for a much more traditional TvT composition. He's showing us that he doesn't have to play this like hyperactive style of just biomass drop play. No. He can slow things down as well. He can play standard. It's crazy. So we have a scan into the natural base. And the armies are, as we move out, the armies are missing each other, and we may end up in a weird base trade. And here we go, ByuN, he does lay siege upon the 3rd base. Likewise, Bunny cannot turn around. He has to do the same to the 3rd of ByuN. And we may not turn around. We may just keep on pushing. And because ByuN has Ravens, he can disable. He can disable the 1 defensive tank. It is already unsieged. ByuN's working his way into the natural, and immediately Bunny, he has to evacuate at the same time. What do we have at home to defend? We do also have a Raven, but no disables for Bunny. Uh-oh. He has to throw down auto turrets instead. Raven goes down as ByuN is working his way in towards the main base. ByuN is making more units as he loses the CC. He's down to 1 base mining. So is Bunny. Upgrades are going to be denied. But I feel like ByuN, he should be able to hold on to the high ground. Should be able to hold. I don't know if I can say the same for Bunny just because of the disables. These Ravens change everything. At any moment, ByuN, he can disable these tanks and push up the ramp. He's going for it. Okay. He's edging closer. He's not just going ham. Likewise, this CC also taking a lot of hits as well, is on fire. 1-1 was denied. CC floating back. Oh no, we're supply blocked. The tank production, it stopped. The factory is within range and it is going down. Meanwhile, ByuN back at home, he's making more tanks. And Bunny has to turn around. And there are the disables. That's what I was concerned about. There are the disables, and we dive on top of the 1st tank. We dive on top of the 2nd tank as well. And it looks like ByuN, he's snowballing out of control. He breaks into the main. Bunny, he's coming back home, but it's too late. There's nothing to come back home to. There's nothing left. Everything is on fire. Everything is in shambles. ByuN, he's got double the supply. He has SCVs, he has workers, he has an economy. Bunny doesn't. It looks like this is just too much. Cyclones are going down. And Bunny should be able to collapse on this position. He should be able to clean up these forces. Bunny isn't out of this. But ByuN can go back to mining. He can go back to mining. Go back to 2 bases. Bunny, he's down to 6 SCVs. He's got 6 workers and some hopium. And here we go. The hopium can be a strong drug. It can be it can be good, Papi. And here we go. We collapse on this force. All 3 tanks will go down. A good trade for Bunny. But ByuN goes for the mineral line. Goes for the SCVs. 6 more SCVs go down. GG gets called, and ByuN will take the series at 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. ByuN looking dominant in this series, in this TvT. Bunny did a great job making it this far. He did an amazing job at making it here into the semifinals. I mean, he took down Lambo. He took down Lambo to get here. He took down Firefly as well. It was not easy.